Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's professional development workshop on implementing alternative assessment methods, enhancing teaching and learning. In this session, we'll dive into the world of alternative assessments, explore their benefits and challenges, and share practical strategies that you can implement in your classrooms. By the end of the workshop, you should be able to better understand how alternative assessments can enhance student learning and how to apply them effectively in the Malaysian educational context. Workshop objectives. Our primary objectives for today are to understand what alternative assessment methods are and how they differ from traditional ones, to differentiate between formative and summative assessments, to explore how these assessment methods can be applied practically in Malaysian classrooms, to learn how to implement alternative assessments in an effective and fair manner. Why reduce product exams? Let's begin by understanding the drawbacks of traditional exams. Standard product exams often promote rote memorization, which doesn't always reflect a student's understanding or ability to apply knowledge in real-world situations. Additionally, they tend to cause significant test anxiety and limit students' opportunity to create for creativity and critical thinking. By exploring alternative assessments, we aim to move beyond these limitations. What is alternative assessment? Alternative assessment moves beyond the standard written exam and focuses more on the application of knowledge, critical thinking, and real-world problem solving. It assesses student performance in more holistic way, emphasizing practical skills rather than just theoretical knowledge. Examples of alternative assessments include portfolios, projects, peer assessment, self-reflection exercises, and open book tests. Types of alternative assessment. Alternative assessments can be broken down into two primary types, formative and summative assessments. Formative assessments ongoing improves learning. Formative assessments are used to monitor student progress and provide continuous feedback. They encourage active engagement, self-reflection, and peer interaction. Examples include quizzes, peer reviews, and class discussions. These assessments are frequent and help teachers adjust their teaching strategies based on students' needs. Summative assessment. Final evaluation measures outcome. Summative assessments, on the other hand, evaluate overall learning, at the end of unit or term. These assessments measure the final outcomes of students' learning. Example include portfolio, project, and final presentations. Unlike formative assessments, summative assessments are typically given once after significant learning milestones and provide a comprehensive view of a student's progress. Formative versus summative assessments. To better understand the differences, here's the comparison. Formative assessments are ongoing and happen throughout the learning process, offering immediate feedback to guide improvement. Summative assessment occur at the end of unit or course and provide an overall evaluation of student performance. The main distinction lies in their purpose. Formative assessment aim to improve learning while summative assessment evaluate learning outcomes. Benefit of alternative assessment. There are several benefits to incorporating alternative assessments into your teaching practices. Encourages higher order thinking skills. These assessments promote critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity, moving away from rote memorization. Reduces text anxiety. By offering regular feedback, alternative assessments help students feel less anxious and more confident in their learning process. Provides personalized feedback. Teachers can give tailored feedback focusing on each student's strengths and areas for improvement. Supports real-world skill development Through project and presentations, students develop practical skills such as collaboration, communication, and project management. Challenges of alternative assessment. However, there are some challenges to keep in mind when implementing alternative assessments. Time consuming for teachers. Grading project and portfolios requires more time than traditional exams, and teachers need to provide detailed, individualized feedback. Subjectivity in grading. Unlike standardized exams, alternative assessments often rely on judgment, which can lead to inconsistencies. Clear rubrics can help minimize this issue. Student resistance. Some students may initially struggle with alternative assessments, especially if they are accustomed to traditional exam formats. Clear communication and gradual implementation can help ease this transition. Project-based learning. Activity. Create a project plan. Let's start with an exciting and highly engaging teaching method. Project-based learning, or PBL. In this activity, you'll work in small group to design a project-based assessment plan for a specific subject. For example, you might focus on science, history, or any other subject you teach. As you plan, I'd like you to consider a few important points. What real-world problem could your students address through this project? Think about how the project can connect to real-life situations or issues. How will you access your students' critical thinking, collaboration, and creativity? These are key skills in PBL, so it's essential to incorporate methods to evaluate them effectively. What tools and resources will your student need to succeed? Consider both digital and physical resources. After you have discussed these elements within your group, we'll come together to share our ideas. We'll also reflect on benefits and challenges of using PBL in the classroom, helping you walk away with practical, actionable ideas for your teaching. Let's dive in. Peer and self-assessments. Activity. Peer review simulation. Next, let's explore peer and self-assessment. These tools are invaluable for fostering self-awareness and critical thinking in students. In this activity, you will conduct a peer review of a sample assignment, such as an essay or project from your subject area. I'll provide you with a basic rubric to guide the review process. The rubric will help assess key aspects like writing quality, analysis, and argument structure. Once you have completed your peer reviews, we'll discuss how the process helps students develop self-awareness and improve their own work. This is a great opportunity for you to think about how you can incorporate peer assessments into your own classroom using customized rubrics for your student subject area. Ready to get started? Open book and take-home assignments. Activity. Design an open book assessment. Let's move on to a powerful way to access students' deep understanding. Open book and take-home assignments. In this activity, you will design an open book or take-home assessment that challenges students to apply their knowledge rather than just recalling facts. For example, in history, you might ask students to analyze the causes of a specific historical event. In science, you could have them solve a problem using the scientific method. These types of assessments help students engage more deeply with the content. Once you have created your assessment, we'll come together to share ideas. We'll discuss how open book assignments promote deep learning and how they can be used to assess higher order thinking skills. The goal here is to develop practical, real-world open book assessment that can be used in your classrooms. Let's get started with your designs. Oral presentations and debates. Activity. Role-playing debate. Now, let's discuss how oral presentation and debates can serve as dynamic assessment tools. In this activity, we'll engage in a role-playing debate on a relevant topic, like should online learning replace traditional classrooms? We'll split into two groups. One will argue for the motion and the other against. As you present your arguments, think about how you can assess students' public speaking, critical thinking, and reasoning skills. After the role play, we'll discuss how debates can be used effectively in the classroom to access both verbal communication and the ability to reason logically. The goal is for you to walk away with strategies for integrating debates into your subject assessments. Let's begin our role play. Group work and collaborative assessments. Activity: collaborative design for group projects. Finally, we are going to look at group work and collaborative assessments. Group projects are a great way to assess teamwork, creativity, and individual contributions. In this activity, you will design a group project that aligns with your curriculum. As you plan, consider the following questions. How will you assess each group member's individual contribution? It's essential to measure both the collective effort and individual accountability. What criteria will you use to assess both group and individual performance? How can peer assessments be integrated into the group projects? This can help students develop a sense of responsibility and give them ownership of their learning process. Once you have completed your group project plan, we'll come together and share ideas. This session will help you develop group project assessment that balance collaboration and individual accountability. Let's get started on creating these projects. Teaching resources and implementation guidelines. Teacher resources overview. The primary goal of this resource guide is to equip teachers with effective tools to implement alternative assessments in their classrooms. By offering a variety of resources, teachers can foster an environment where students are evaluated based on diverse criteria, promoting more comprehensive learning outcomes. These resources include assessment rubrics for various assessment types, feedback templates to guide constructive responses, and interactive tools to engage students in formative assessments. Moreover, students' portfolio are emphasized as an ongoing method for tracking student growth and development over time. With these tools in hand, educators can make alternative assessments more practical and streamlined in their day-to-day teaching. Sample rubrics for different assessments. Alternative assessments can take many forms, and it's crucial to have clear, well-structured rubrics to ensure fair and transparent evaluation. For project-based assessments, a rubric could measure key aspects such as research quality, creativity, presentation skill, and teamwork. Each creation is scored on a scale from 0 to 5, helping teachers provide detailed feedback on student performance. Presentation rubrics focus on communication skills, looking at organization, the use of visual aids, and how well students engage with their audience. Peer review rubrics guide students in giving constructive feedback to each other, reinforcing both critical thinking and collaborative learning. Clear rubrics like this can be adapted to any assignment to maintain consistency in grading. Feedback template. Constructive feedback is vital for student growth. Teachers can use structured feedback templates to provide clear, actionable advice to students. A typical template starts by highlighting what the student did well, followed by areas for improvement where teachers can offer specific suggestions. The final section outlines the next step for the student's development, ensuring they know exactly how to move forward. This approach not only makes feedback more manageable but also encourages students to take ownership of their learning by providing clear pathways for growth. Interactive assessment tools. Incorporating technology into assessments can make learning more engaging and dynamic. Tools like Google Forms enable teachers to create quizzes and surveys for instant feedback, while Kahoot adds a fun, gamete element to review sessions. Padlet allows students to collaborate on brainstorming activities and peer assessments, creating a more interactive learning environment. Other tools like Flipgrid and Edpuzzle offer unique ways for students to respond to prompt via videos or engage with interactive videos that include quizzes. By integrating these tools, teachers can enhance both formative assessment and student engagement, making the learning process more interactive and enjoyable. Student portfolios. Student portfolios are an invaluable resource for tracking progress over time, offering a holistic view of a student's development. Portfolios include a variety of work types such as essays, research papers, projects, and group assignments, reflecting both individual and collaborative efforts. Students can also add self-reflections on their learning experiences, highlighting their challenges and areas for growth. Teachers can use portfolios to assess how students have evolved, as feedback from both peers and educators can be logged for reference. This continuous assessment allows for comprehensive evaluation of a student's abilities, making it especially useful for both formative and summative assessment strategies. Guidelines for implementing alternative assessment. Effective implementation of alternative assessments involves understanding their purpose and ensuring alignment with learning outcomes. Formative assessments should be used to guide instruction, while summative assessments are designed to measure overall learning achievements. Teachers should use a mix of individual and group assessments, fostering both critical thinking and collaboration. It also essential to provide timely, constructive feedback, utilizing templates to ensure consistencies. Technology should be integrated to streamline the process and offer real-time feedback through digital platforms. By following these guidelines, teachers can develop a well-rounded assessment strategy that supports student learning and development. Clear rubric guidelines for teachers. Creating effective rubrics is fundamental to ensuring consistent and fair grading. Teachers should begin by defining key criteria that will be assessed, ensuring that the rubrics reflects the most important skills or competencies. Each performance level should be clearly described from excellent to needs improvement, with distinct criteria for each level. This structure not only helps in grading but also provides students with clear expectations. Once the rubric is set, it should be used consistently to assess all students' work, ensuring fairness and clarity across the board. Balancing assessment types in instruction. A balanced approach to assessment is essential for fostering both student learning and performance. Formative assessments such as quizzes, discussions, and peer reviews focus on the learning process and offer valuable insights that can inform teaching strategies. On the other hand, summative assessments like final projects and exams measure students' overall performance and culmination of their learning. By balancing these types, teachers can ensure that assessments are aligned with learning outcomes and provide students with multiple opportunities to demonstrate their understanding throughout the term. Key takeaways and final recommendations. In conclusion, alternative assessments offer a dynamic and engaging way to evaluate students' progress. By incorporating clear rubrics, feedback, templates, and interactive tools, teachers can make assessments more effective and meaningful. Portfolios and peer self-assessment provide continuous insights into student development, creating a more comprehensive understanding of their abilities. Lastly, balancing formative and summative assessments ensures a well-rounded approach to student evaluation. To begin implementing these strategies, teachers should start small, gradually incorporating one alternative assessment method at a time, customizing tools to fit specific teaching styles and reflecting on assessment strategies regularly will enhance the overall effectiveness of the assessment process. Any questions? We hope you feel empowered to try new assessment methods, integrate the tools discussed, and apply the actionable guidelines in your own practice. Remember, continuous growth and reflection are key to success in the classroom. Best of luck, and thank you again for your participation.